You're listening to Until They Sleep, a podcast where two parents finally get to sit down and discuss all the different things that run through their heads every day because their four kids are finally asleep. Thanks for listening. And welcome back to Until They Sleep. I'm Chantel.
And I'm Daniel.
And thank you for joining us once again. This is episode
25.
25?
25.
Oh my goodness. I should know better because I'm the one who edits these things. But
Yeah, episode 25. So once again, I actually want to take the time right now real quick to say thank you. I know we always say that at the end of every episode and the beginning of each one, but I just want to touch, what? Am I wrong? It's 26?
it's 24.
No, 24 was last week.
Nope, that was 23.
No.
You're thinking because of the one episode we haven't released yet.
Oh, the one that was supposed to come out
That's going to come
Sunday?
out. Yeah, it'll come out right after this one.
No, it was supposed to come out before this one.
Okay. All right, that's why you're thinking 25.
Okay, well, then my apologies.
Yeah.
Episode 24.
Episode 24.
Wow. Well, still 24.
And we have one in the vault that we've been waiting to put out because it's like 2
We.
hours long. Okay, I've been waiting to put out because it's like 2 hours long.
I'm going to quote my friend here. Stop censoring me.
Hey, I'm looking out at his best
He
interest.
said he doesn't care.
Because I don't want him to get in trouble with his wife.
He said he's not.
Okay. All right.
He said he's not.
All
Both
right.
of them said
Both
that.
of them.
They're
All
not
right.
getting in
All right,
trouble with no
guys.
one.
All right, ladies, if you're listening to this and your husband say silly things, I tried to keep it
gonna
off
be
the
a
air for a
raw-
little bit.
Raw, uncut, just guys
Yes.
being goofy and dumb and silly.
Three dads being goofy.
Nerding out. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I was saying right before, I was corrected. Who knows? Everybody knows wives like to correct husbands all the time.
It just didn't sound right.
I'm still on 25 in my head.
It is
so,
technically 25 recordings,
well, like I said, like I was saying,
but
I want to take the time again to let you all know that that we really do appreciate the love and support that we received on these last 24, 25 episodes. And we hope that you continue to show us that love and support. I know that sometimes we go off on tangents and we might lose you. And some of you stick around, and we appreciate it. And if at any moment we have offended anyone, our apologies. Maybe it doesn't come across the same way like on text. But I just want to let everybody know that our episodes and everything for the podcast is all us. We're not promoted. We don't have sponsors. Nobody pays us. We pay out of our pockets.
this is for us.
Yeah, we're doing it. It's something that we enjoy doing. It's our therapy. It's our moments together, and it's kind of like a way of letting our loved ones and our followers, our friends know where we are, where we stand, and what's going on in our lives. Because I think that now with social media and the distance that we live in, we somehow get disconnected. So then you get to be a part of our little circle, right? Our little circle.
And
of
one of my
friends.
brothers has said that, that if he listens, he knows this is his way he can catch up with what's been going on with us.
So that's a good thing, yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because sometimes people think like, oh, like you listen to other podcasts and you're in the middle, listen to something, and then a commercial pops in or a sponsor or anything like that, and no, we don't have that. We're small time. We're not doing it for monetary reasons. I mean, would it be nice? Of course, it would be nice, but we're doing it for the love of the craft and we're enjoying it, and
maybe
we're
if
learning.
I lose my job, then we'll start.
Yeah, maybe
We'll
concentrating
start
like that.
promoting a little more.
But I just want to let you know that for all of you that have been here along the journey, you will always have a place in my heart and in our house, in our group, because we know who you are. You let us know. You give us feedback, and we appreciate the love and support. I just wanted to take the time to say that because I've been thinking about it, and people are like, "Oh yeah, well, do you make money?" Or I was like, "No, this is me." And how does that posting go? I was like, "Well, I pay for it. We pay for it. Like it comes out of our budget. So if we go over the limit, we're paying. We're not doing it free. Like there's free podcasting, like time wise. But if we did that, then we would do one episode a month, maybe, because you get like an hour or 30 minutes or something.
Yeah, something like that. And I had a point to make, and now I forgot what it was. But yeah, basically, thank you for supporting us and listening to our rambles, because a lot of these are rambles, right? Because we have maybe a topic in mind that we want to discuss, and we'll end up going in whichever way the conversation takes us, like you would with any other conversation you
Yeah.
have with somebody. So this is why we would love for people to talk back, right? And participate in the conversation on our social media or via email, because we really do want to have conversations with people. And if something that we've said or something we're talking about, it's something you're going through or you're like have questions about, please do ask. And then also, if you guys haven't noticed, I do post the details or like a quick synopsis of what we're discussing in each podcast or in each episode. I put those details in the episode notes. So if you open up the episode detail, you'll see, what we're going to talk about in that episode. So you kind of have an idea if you want to chime in or not, if you want to listen to what we have to say on whatever those topics are.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry we went there, but I just wanted to bring that up.
Don't apologize. I mean,
No, yeah. But, maybe we said it before. They're like, oh, why are they always thanking us? Well, be thankful that we thank you because we could take you for granted.
well, you know what? But we're not the only ones, because there's other podcasts I listen to and they're always thanking people. Yeah. I mean, they also have like hundreds of followers, but you thank those who give you support no matter what.
Right.
Right.
So, I guess let's jump into it after that. What you got? Any news? Anything that's special?
Okay, so our family recap for the week. I maybe need to give it a title and give it like a limit of time, like 20 seconds. There's really nothing going on this week. It's just our eldest had a final. I think we touched on that on the last episode.
Yeah, he was getting ready for that. He was studying and doing all that.
We don't know what grade he got on it yet, but he said he did well. And he actually does have finals the next 3 days before school's out. Or 2 days. He has finals tomorrow and Tuesday. And then he's out of school on Wednesday.
And something did happen this week, and I got a little worked up about it. So, school comes to an end. And I asked you so my kid's school do it weird. I asked my wife. My dad was always big on checking report cards. He never gave a damn throughout the year, but I know he cared at the end of the year what the report card was. So obviously our kids, the youngest ones, are out of school. So I was like, hey, what's up with the report cards? And my wife's like, oh, I can print those out for you. So she printed them out. She left them out for me when I came in from work. I missed them. My son tried to point them out in the morning, like he was all proud, like thinking he had real good grades, which he did. But there was a couple of a subject or two where there was little stains on it, and I had a little heart talk with him, and he was a little heartbroken.
A heart to heart
talk. Heart to heart talk, because I always tell the kids that they have one job. I was like, the main job is always to get in school and bring me good grades. I always reward them at the end of the year if I'm able to, for getting me like outstanding grades. And so this year, obviously, there was those little blemishes in there. And overall, it was a good one, but there was still those blemishes. And
we're talking about our 10-year-old.
Yeah, and I had to be a little bit tough and kind of let them know that I expect better, and I was a little disappointed.
But we've also touched, so the subject that he didn't do so great on was language arts, the writing portion in particular. And there was one math topic I think that he wasn't doing well on. But ultimately we've talked about, how he just doesn't get, or our kids in general just don't get words. I know he has a little bit of dyslexia, and he just really struggles with words. He's a great artist and he's a great storyteller, but when it comes to putting it down on paper, he has a hard time.
He's always been good at school. He's always brought great grades.
Yeah.
They've always been really good. So this is the first time that I saw something like that. So, I was just explaining to him, that was shocking, and I never expected that from him.
Mm-hmm.
But then, after that, I was a little upset, and I had to show it. I think I overreacted a little too, just to kind of let him know that I was being serious. I knew what I was doing. And then our daughter's turn came up, and she was biting her nails and kind of worried. And I was like, "Good job." And she was like, what? I was like, yeah, you did good. And like, you don't have anything bad like your brother. I mean, you could do better, but
But hers is only one topic in math as well, which I'm actually not understanding why, because so they said that she needed more help with telling. She's in first grade, and they said that she needed more help with telling time. And I was like, I don't understand that, because whenever she would do her homework with me, she would do it in a snap. She was so fast and she would do it correctly. So either maybe she was nervous the day she took the test, or she wasn't really focused.
yeah, I think it was one of those. She probably failed the test and maybe kind of half completed the exercises throughout the process. But by the time we're kind of working with her, she got better at it.
Yeah. But
But
I mean, they
still,
usually do those type of tests at the end of the unit. So it was just kind of, that's why I feel maybe she just wasn't paying attention,
yeah, or
or
maybe
she
she
was
was absent.
nervous.
I don't know, but yeah, yeah. So I mean, overall they did good. So, but it was interesting because he just feels like he's in trouble. Like I noticed it
Yeah.
throughout the days after that. He's like, oh, I've been bad, or I was like, what are you doing in your room? I was like, well, you're mad at me because of my grades. So I was like, I love you. You know, I had a hug him, and I had to give him a couple kisses, and I was like, I love you. It doesn't matter. Like I'm still your dad. Like you're still my son, and I love you. You mean the world to me. Yeah, the grade was a little surprising to me. Like all the other ones were good, and some of them were great. But those two, I was like, I was not expecting that from you, especially because you're so talkative, informative. That if you were having issues, I would have imagined you would have come to us and said, "I need help with the subject."
Yeah.
So
But and it's so crazy because the report cards aren't, at least the ones we received, aren't like A, B, C, D, E, F, or A, B, C, D, F. Like there's no letter. They assign symbols, and then you have, or numbers, and then you have to go to like the legend and figure out, okay,
yeah, you have to do homework to
you
get,
have to
get
do homework to figure out what
and then
your
we go old
kid's
school, right?
grades are.
Because they have it there, like
They have the percentages
so it's
somewhere.
rated by numbers. So they go from I guess 1 through 5,
1 through 5, yeah.
right? So kind of like when you do reviews, and then they have
That's what it looks like. It
yeah,
looks like you're getting a review at a job.
and then it has like the key to let you know what it is, and then another part of it that tells you the percentage of what they got in that class or that subject.
In that subject.
So
yeah.
then I'm like, okay, so this is a 5 obviously is an A.
I was literally
a 4
highlighting
is a
things.
B, yeah.
I was like, okay, this goes with that.
Yeah, and then D's and F's, right? So I was like, all right. But yeah, so I just had to talk with them, and yeah, I did my own math, and I explained to them how I saw it and how it was going off. But then it's a cool little thing in the back. The teachers put like a little comment or note about it, so I read that too, and I let them know that feedback that the teachers put back there kind of saved them even more.
That's positive, yeah.
So yeah, so that was that. So yeah, so even during the weekend, he was like, "Oh, you guys mad at me?" Oh,
Yeah, we
guys,
went to the store and
I
he
feel like you
thought
guys
we
are
were mad
ignoring
at
me.
you.
I was like, "No, man, we got stuff to do. Like we're busy. We're doing stuff. Like
Yeah.
you're still part of it. We have you here with us. Like
And once again, he's our anxious kid, so he worries
it's guilty.
a lot.
It's guilt.
But he worries in general, so it just added to his feelings of guilt for whatever reason. So.
Right.
But that was, I think,
That was the
extent of it. I mean,
Yeah.
he's fine. I did tell him though today, buddy, you're grounded, like till your writing skills improve. He's like, what? Because
He's so concerned about the others. Though. What about her? What about the oldest?
Yeah.
What kind of punishment is he gonna get?
Yeah, so it's so fine. So you worry about yourself. And I mean, we're not, maybe that's part of the problem is we're not like super strict with it. We'll maybe ground him for a couple days from video games, and he has to show to me that he's actually trying to do his practice work. Because I do, and I went and I bought a new book and to help with grammar and writing skills and stuff like that. So we'll be working on that this week.
So yeah, that was the extent on that part at least, and that's that with the Munchkins. Aside from that, it's pretty chill.
It was just a normal week. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I worked a little bit more just because
because you're getting ready for
it's tax season. And well, okay, so I'm in charge of the taxes at work, and they changed the due dates. So I ended up working a few extra hours because I had to get those done.
And then we
faster
also
than-
had another funny one. I took my ladies out to a salon.
Oh, that was a last minute,
Is that-
not at all planned. My husband, okay, so we got our car back and fingers crossed it no longer will need any more repairs. But, or I should say, and then we took it for a test drive and filled up the tank, sputtered a little, and we were like, no, but we think it was just the fuel injectors.
Little dirty ones,
yeah, because it's been sitting
for a while. So yeah,
but in that we ended up at the barber,
little salon.
or a hair salon or barber, and allegedly
I needed a touch up.
Yeah.
I was already thinking about going.
it was supposed to be just for him.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about it, and then next thing you know, the car did that, and I was like, "Whoa, it's a sign! I have to do."
We
this
were
now.
right by them when it happened.
I pulled in, and I was like, "Oh, let's see if it can take me in as a walk-in." Went in there because I hadn't had a haircut since I think the Super Bowl when I had to get that
it's been a
stupid
while.
mohawk. So
You're trying to let it grow out,
yeah, and
now
so
it's hot.
so I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, see what a haircut felt like again. No. Before I decided to shave my head again, like I usually do every summer. And yeah, we went in there, and Yusa had said something about haircut, so I figured, I was like, hey, you guys want another walk-in? Because I think I can get my wife and my girls in here for a walk-in. And I just went out the door. I was like, come on in. And yeah, you went in. I was like, hey, you want
as soon
you
as
want
I
a touch
walked
up?
in, yep, and I got my hair layered, and I haven't had my hair layered in years.
Yeah,
got
and
it
then
chopped to my shoulder and layered.
And then the guy did my hair. Really cool guy. I guess it's one of the reasons I keep on going back to him every once in a while. He was like, hey, I do girls' hair too. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah. Well, we do her bangs. Like, yeah.
So our 6-year-old, she'd been complaining that her bangs were touching her eyes, and she wanted me to cut them again. I was like, I'm not cutting them again because I'm gonna get yelled at. So we were there, and I was like, can you just touch up her bangs? And yeah, so he took care of her bangs. But then our 4-year-old
has me wrapped around her finger, and she's like, Daddy, I want a haircut. I was like, Mama, we'll come back another time. I'll make you an appointment. You get the whole, spill, blah, blah, blah. She's like, but I want it now, Daddy. And she made that sad puppy face and everything. And I was like, you really want a haircut right now? And, she said yes. And I was like, done.
Yep. He let her, even though I got a bunch of crap for trimming her hair, he let her chop her hair off to her shoulders.
Well, no, I said to the shoulders. Just past the shoulders or to the shoulders. No less than that.
Yes.
And they were all talking about, no, maybe like up to here, blah, blah. I was like, no.
I didn't say that. I said to the shoulders when you guys asked me. I said, and they even told me, they automatically go to the mom, right? When it comes to haircuts. They're like, hey, Mom. I go, no, this is Dad's decision. This is Dad's decision.
And then homie went and got a book,
to show her haircuts.
I felt like I was in the scene of Zoolander for a second there. And he's like, this one? You want this one? You want that one? And I was like, yeah, that one without the bangs. And they're like, oh, but the bangs. Like, no bang. Nope. Don't give her bangs. I want it all even. They were like, okay. So they went for
we'll
it.
post a picture of her.
And it looks great.
It's cute.
It looks adorable. She looks so good. She was so happy. She was loving it. She wanted to sit on the little race car kit seat that they had there, which is funny because when we first moved to this area, our 10-year-old was about the same age, and that was the first haircut he got there because he used to have a long braid, like completely long hair. I did shave his sides and his back for a little while, but he had the top all the way down to his butt. It was just a braid, kind of, very Native American-ish. I guess you want to call it very Viking-ish. And then when he said, I'm ready for my haircut, that's what we did. That's where
Took
he
him
went.
there.
We cut the braid off, and we went there, and they fixed it like a nice, pretty boy.
Yep. And that was the same place, but we go to that same barber now all the time. So.
Yeah, I tried out all the barbers around the area, and there's some good ones and some bad ones, and some experiences. But that guy's pretty good, especially with the issues I have going on with my hair. So he's been really good.
Well,
he's been better than others.
I think you guys were just happy that because you have wavy hair, and our 10-year-old has such straight hair that he knew how to cut both types of hair.
Yeah, because I've had barbers that say, "Oh, I don't like to cut that type of hair." I was like, so.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's me, sometimes it's him. So
Yeah.
it's a
I think it's your calyx. That's what people.
yeah
Don't. You guys
yeah.
have
They
so
hit
many
them. Yeah, we have
calyx.
3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. My boy,
Yeah.
my 10-year-old
But
has the same as me.
that's about it. That
Yeah,
was
but it was
our
nice.
week.
So she's happy, and it's funny because my daughter's so conceited, and she was like, "I know, I look beautiful, and isn't it the most beautiful haircut you've ever seen? I'm gorgeous. Look at me. Look at my gorgeous hair." I was like, "Oh, easy there,
Hey,
killer."
it's all your fault.
I was like, "Easy. You're starting to sound like me. I have competition. Nobody loves me so me like me. Starting to sound a lot like me."
Well, what do you expect?
Yeah, well, that was awesome. So yeah, we were pretty chill, pretty nice. But tell me,
What topic did I want to talk about
yeah,
this
you
week?
had you
I had a
you're the
topic.
DJ today.
I had a topic in my head like during the week. Okay, back to my murder podcast. I was listening to another episode. I know. One of the episodes I was listening to just reminded me of. Stop it. Just reminded me of experiences I've had. And it's actually about the authority of parents over their children.
You will respect my authority.
Yeah, exactly. So just a quick little thing, I'm not going to talk about any murder or anything like that, but just that there was a young lady whose parents were split up. Bad things were happening to her in one household. She ended up moving with the other parent and actually had a really good life with the other parent. But once that parent started instilling authority and rules and directions, they didn't want to live there anymore because they wanted to be free to do whatever they wanted. And so they moved back with the previous parent, knowing that there had been a bad experience there last time or previously. They still wanted to go back there. Why? Because there was no one to tell them. Yeah, no one was going to care, basically. Or at least they thought no one was going to care until they got there. And then once they got there, they started rebelling. They started dating a man that was way older than them. And ultimately, this child ends up disappearing. And the household she ended up going back to, they had even tried to tell her, "You're not allowed to do this." And then all this was reminding me, not the whole, she disappeared part, but it just reminded me of the experience with our eldest girls,
Right.
Going between households and the authority, they're not wanting to be dealing with the responsibility or the authority of us because in the other household, they were free to do more things. But then when they'd come here, they'd be complaining that they didn't feel loved or cared for.
Okay.
And so it just kind of took me down that rabbit hole, and I felt like maybe I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, no, you know what? Actually, as I'm listening to you talk about it, it's interesting because I can also talk about it from my own personal experience. I think that comes down with broken homes. Parents get divorced, and the kids are in that situation where there's always usually that one parent that's strict. Mm-hmm. They want things done a certain way and the responsibilities and everything. There's always a other parent that's more like, "Oh yeah, no worries, chill."
They just want to be a friend.
They want to be the friend. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying every single one, but there's a 50-50, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's true. The girls, when they came over, we were like, "Hey, like, wash your dishes,
make your bed, don't eat a bunch of candy in the room." You know who I'm talking to.
Stuff like that, and it's like you can see them rolling their eyes. I can see them getting annoyed by it, and then they're like, "Hey, when you were here, this, all the stuff. Those are your chores. You expect this to be done. Manners, respect.
Don't touch things that aren't yours. If we go anywhere, don't go through other people's.
So
things.
There's all these rules, right? And then, like you said, probably in the other scenarios, none of that is happening. There's more free, more liberal. More, of course, identify yourself or you do what you please, and you're free to do what you want. From our experience, yeah, it was that. It was like, oh, I don't want to be with you, Dad. There's so many rules, so you guys are too strict.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we weren't necessarily told that, but that's ultimately what was
That's how we
what
read
was
it, right?
conveyed,
And then they go to the other side and they come back and they're like, "Oh, you know what? I didn't. I sometimes don't eat, or I eat late, or I eat this. I eat a lot of
cereal.
cereal or ramen, or tuna sandwiches, or X. Chef Boyardee or whatever." And I'm just talking about my kids from what I heard from other people, right? Like um,
And then
I
there'd also be the complaint, or not the complaint, but the concern of, I just don't feel that my other parent cares about me as much because they would rather be with friends or family members or adults, not with us. And to, yours as a stepmom, and they don't live with me, it was like, okay, well, I don't know what to say or what to do with that because you don't want to be here when we've given you guys the option to live here because we have rules or too many rules, right? But then you're also sad about this household where you've got all this freedom, but you feel like the
so
love's not there.
so then you go with too much authority or the lack of authority, right?
Yeah, so which one is it? And why I guess I don't understand why kids do this.
But kids always rebel, right? Especially
Yeah.
like I'm saying, broken houses. They want to rebel. They're angry at the world. Their parents failed. They don't have what some of their other friends
And
have.
I figure you would maybe understand this a little
Yeah, they
better.
want to
I
go on
don't.
their way. But it's funny because they can't. They don't want to follow the authority, and they're complaining about not having enough authority. But them rebelling or throwing their tantrums or running away or doing whatever.
Because there's a lot of runaways, right?
Yeah,
There's a lot
they
of
end up
kids who
going their
running
own
away.
way, and they end up messing up their lives even more and making more worse decisions. And then they're like, "Well, my dad abandoned me, or my mom was, my dad was too hard, or my mom didn't care enough about me, so I did this and I did that, or my mom was too strict." Either one, it's usually the flip of a coin, right? It's one parent or the other, vice versa. And then they're like, "Oh, my wife sucks because of the way my parents were, whatever." But in reality, when it comes down to it, it's like, no, like you need to look in the mirror. It's because of you.
Yeah.
You didn't want the authority, so you didn't want to be there. You were upset that you didn't have enough authority there, so you left there. Or you had too much authority in one, and you had too much authority on the other one, and you couldn't take the whole authority thing, and you decided to just ruin your life even more. So those are the things that kind of happen. I just think that a lot of times when kids rebel like that, or they have that issue with authority, and then later on they want to play the victim card, it's always like, just look in the mirror. It's your fault. Like, you did it to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of times when we feel that the people don't love us or care us, and they're just trying to ruin our lives, and we'll really control every little aspect of it because we're kids and we don't know any better. So we're like upset and like, oh, it just want they hate me so much, I want to ruin it. But we
Is
don't.
this part of that teenage brain that
Yeah.
that Mr. Asprey was talking about, or Dr. Asprey was talking about, where at that age it's just they rebel because they think they know better.
Right.
It's just ingrained.
Yeah, but then you don't realize it until later on in life when you start looking back at the choices that you made or the things that you did that you regret, or that you're ashamed of, and then you're like, "Damn, I messed up." Like, they were looking out for me. There was a necessary authority, right? And then sometimes parents just get tired of trying to do the right thing, and kids run away. It's a weird one, because I can relate to it because my dad always was. He ran a tight ship. He was very strict. He had rules. He had schedules. He had things that he wanted done a certain way. And then my stepmoms were kind of like the same way in a way, but at the same time, it was more like, do whatever the hell you want, but as long as this stuff gets done. I guess that came with as the older I got, maybe.
Yeah, but there was no caring, right? They didn't care where you were or really what you were doing as long as you weren't in trouble.
Yeah, I think that one is a 50-50. So the one was at my dad's house and one was at my dad's girlfriend's house. It was the opposite. My dad's house, it was, didn't care where I was as long as I did my stuff and I showed up at night, I guess. I don't know, because there was the first time when I learned that, like I said, I think I talked about it before. I was like, I waited and waited and waited outside of school until it was like nighttime, and I went home and it was already like way past my bedtime, and everybody was like, "Oh, where were you?"
Yeah. You were like at school waiting for someone to come
Yeah,
get you.
exactly. So, it's like, damn. But then on the other aspect, over with my dad's girlfriend, it was more like I couldn't do a damn thing.
She was super strict.
She was strict and controlling,
And you
and
didn't like it.
and I hated it. Yes, I did. But
And she got you during your teenage years.
yeah, but I didn't. I wasn't like running away or anything like that. I did that later, but that was because I ran away for other reasons. I laughed because of other reasons.
Yeah.
The physical abuse got to be enough. It's like forget this. You can't say words and insult me or brainwash me and physically hit me. And it got to a point where, like, if you're going to talk shit, I can talk shit too. And if you can't take it, then why should I take yours?
And I think there would be a less level of respect because she was just your dad's girlfriend.
Yeah. I mean, I owe her a lot. She did a lot of stuff for me, but sometimes I feel like, did she do it out of love or out of obligation or out of just a
Trying
bargaining
to keep
chip?
your dad, yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of those, but I had some forms of authority. It's funny because I think my life could be pretty crappy, but like no regrets because I got to appreciate what I have and what I am. Like it makes, but that's the type of mentality I have. See, that's the thing is that we're all different.
Yeah,
in that
because
way.
And again, going back to things I hear or other situations, people we know or hear of, where they're in similar situations, right? That's a very strict household, bunch of rules, and they turn out bad. Like they're drug dealers or they're drug addicts or they're alcoholics or they end up running away and become homeless or they disappear.
And sometimes you get that with people that have had everything.
And that's true. That's completely true. And it's also still because they don't want to deal with authority, right? So like I know people who have kids who their parents give them everything, and yet the kids are total.
Yeah. So what is it about the human mind that just has that problem? Because it could even we're just using parents right now, right? But let's just use society in general. Like right now, let's say cops. People automatically, there's so many people out there that hate cops.
Yeah.
They have a problem with cops.
Yeah.
They get pulled over by a cop and they're being total jerks to the cops. They're just like, what did I do? Just give me my ticket, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
Whatever. And the cops just trying to do their job.
Or they're me
But-
and I'm bawling because I don't know what I do.
Yeah. Oh, but the moment that they're in trouble,
Yeah.
that they're hurting or something, officer, please help me. It's like, no. Like, weren't you the guy that, maybe last week I pulled over because you ran a light and almost hit somebody and you were spitting at me or cursing me or screaming to fund the police or whatever, and now you're in need, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm a victim and please help me.
Yeah.
But it's that representation of authority. You see that badge, you see that uniform, and it's like, oh, I'm not conformist, I'm an anarchist, I hate this control. Or
And I guess maybe this is that same hate or distrust or dislike of authority. If a parent feels it, right, it trickles down to their children, because we've known people who are very vocal about disliking certain types of authority, like even cops. Like we've heard of people who said, oh, we don't like the cops and the cops are whatever, and then the kids also don't like the cops or are afraid of cops, even though the kids never got in trouble.
Yeah, but that's what I always talk about. Kids are just echoes of what they see in their household. Right?
Yeah.
So
The fear,
right?
right?
So if the parent, but I mean, like you said, if you were a bad person, you did something wrong, and the cops show up to your house or are raiding your house or everything, and the kids are there, they, like you said, they're scarred by them. That experience was traumatic to them. It scared the crap out of them. And they see them as a bad guy because, oh, they came and took my daddy away.
Yeah.
Or, oh, they came and hurt my mommy.
Yeah.
But-
or they came and threw all our stuff around and not understanding that their parents did something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. They're drug dealers or, they're murderers or they're junkies or whatever. They might have something. Or sometimes there are cases when there are those bad cops, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's
everybody
true.
has good and everybody has
That's
bad.
true.
And there's sometimes when you're an innocent person and you just, like you said last time, you were at the wrong place, right?
Yeah.
Wrong person. It's just
They were just looking for
end up
somebody.
being- and that time you are a victim that just got caught in the crosshairs. So obviously, of course, those kids will have that trauma and be like, "Yeah, we were innocent. We weren't doing anything, and this happened." Because that cop was having a bad day or whatever. Or
But in the end, what's the truth? Like, the truth is relative, right? Your experience is your truth, right? So to those kids who experience that, their truth is that cops are bad,
Right.
right? Versus the person or kids whose experiences is a cop saved me from a burning car, or a cop saved me from somebody who was trying to abduct me. That's a different it's a different experience and a different idea. So authority, though, can be anybody, like parents, police officers, right? What about authority of government?
That's another one. I was headed that way too. There's those people that have that whole hate towards the government, right?
Yeah.
That authority, and they do their things, or they're so close minded about, let's say, political parties.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I hate that party. I hate their authority. I hate everything. So I'm just gonna go do all these other things, right, to be against it. So I don't know. I think it's maybe another one of those psychological things where people just.
Well, and that leads also to that mass, like the whole lemming thing where just one group of people start to say things and they don't think for themselves. They're just easily influenced by the ideas or thoughts of others. And then they all follow in that same hate pattern without thinking through things. And I know we were experiencing a lot of that in these last couple of years, but like authority of government is something that we the people give our government, right? We give them that authority over us versus the authority of a parent over their child.
Right. But isn't it funny, like, when it comes to that, right? Like, political wise. And then you challenge that. You're like, let's say you have your own mind, your own process, your own research, your own thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I don't believe in that. Oh, you have a problem with authority? Oh, you can't follow the government's telling you to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't question now.
But if
Just
a
do
kid
it.
challenges their parents, they're allowed to. Oh, they didn't want to do that, or they don't want to be that way. Why are you making them do things that they don't want to do? Right?
Yeah.
So a parent who has a biological authority over their child cannot.
You always go there. You always go there. Like, you always end up, like, there's so many other examples, and you always end up in that road.
Because it is what it is. A parent who has a biological authority over their child doesn't have authority over their child, yet the government,
Well, of
who
course
we
not.
elect,
Of course
who we
not. Because if
choose-
you spank your kid, you're wrong, so you're going to jail.
Yeah, but the government can come seize your property whenever they want.
Yeah.
So, again,
Because
biological
you were bad and you're getting time out.
biological authority versus government authority that we give power to the government. Like even police officers, right? Those are, I mean, there's elected officials for the police, but I mean, those other guys are just jobs, right? That's a job. They went through the training. They earned it. That's their job, right? So, I don't know. I just had this whole idea of authority, and just it stemmed from a murder.
Yeah, but some people
and
sometimes
then-
behind authority, like they have that power. It goes to their head,
That's true too.
and they take advantage of it
And
too.
there's
So
par-
there's like I
yeah.
said, everything has two sides, right?
Yeah,
Every
parents
story
do it
has two
too.
sides, right?
Yeah.
So some parents do that. Cops do that. Government does that, and that's how you end up, with
Schools,
the dictatorships and everything
right.
like that.
You can
right?
even find it within the school system. Teachers who
Yeah, do it my way
overreach their
or the highway,
authority,
right?
yeah.
So there's always that. And in situations like that, I think also that great people to have that problem with authority. Right? Because they're like, well, no, I'm not going to do it that way. Like, just because you said so. I mean, it happens at work. You know a guy, great coworker, or, great person to be around. And the moment they get a promotion, what does everybody say? It's like, oh, watch, it's going to go to their head. Like they're going to change.
And anything you do in your authoritative position is now considered you overreaching, even if you're not. Right? So let's say, for example, with you get a promotion, you're now in a supervisory position, and now all the guys are going to be like, oh, I'm not going to listen to him because he's just one of us pretending to be management.
Oh no, definitely. I noticed it from my standpoint. The moment that I changed my position, I thought it was gonna be like I'm still the same guy.
Yeah.
We'll still be the same.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just I'm gonna be relaying the messages now. I'm like the face of the
But
group.
now you're a person of authority,
Yeah.
though.
But now, yeah. And then all of a sudden, it's like somehow some people started challenging it.
And they
Some people,
challenged you. That's right. You said they challenged you.
some people IQ dropped drastically.
Yeah, like all of a sudden they didn't know how to do their job
The most simplest little things to think or do, questioning everything, doubting everything. They come and ask you for help, and the moment you start giving them an answer, they start contradicting it or questioning
challenging
it.
you.
And you're like, well, if you didn't want my help, why did you come ask for my opinion?
Yeah.
So it's and going out of the ways to jeopardize you and lose the position that you're in now, when they could have had it, but they decided not to. But now that I have it, they have an issue with it.
Yeah, and even when you take the position in hopes of bettering your department, right? It's like, okay, I'm going to do this because I'm going to look out for the guys and I'm going to look out for the company, but neither side helps the situation. But that's one form of, but then there's guys who do step into those positions and they do become total dicks and they do overstep and
Oh no, yeah, it goes
maltreat
to their head,
people. And you've known people like
yeah,
that.
they talk down to people, and they make everybody feel dumb,
and maybe that's what they expected. So maybe they just started treating you that way because they expected it. I don't know. But again, this is how people react to authority, right?
the mandula oblongata.
I mean, we are, for the most part, fight or flight. So
I'm just gonna call the people like that. They're reptilian, and the mandula oblongata kicks in.
Yeah,
the whole jealousy and anger and.
Well, what would my brother call that? The puppy.
The puppy, yeah.
Yeah, the puppy.
Explain
the puppy.
Explain to us the puppy.
I will explain to you guys the puppy. So this is a running discussion in my household, between my brothers and I. We believe that within all of us, there is the puppy. The puppy is basically your child, like your child self. And
inner child.
Your inner child. Yeah, your inner child. So your puppy, what are puppies? Like, think about a puppy. What is a puppy? What is a puppy like? They're all fun-loving. They get scared easy, or they rush at you fast when they get like they have all these different personalities. They're either going to come at you, or they're going to go hide and bark at you from hiding, or they're going to pee themselves because they got overexcited, or they just want hugs and kisses. They're hungry all the time. So it's just constant movement, right? No, you can't calm a puppy down, right? It's really hard to calm down a very active puppy, or a puppy who's stuck in whatever emotion that they're in, right? And it takes training from our as humans, it takes us training to be able to calm that puppy down, find a way to get that puppy to calm down. Within a pack of dogs, how do they calm each other down? The bigger dog, or the mama dog, or the papa dog will just bite it, right? Nip at it, hurt it somehow to get it to stop. As humans, we don't usually do that, right? But the idea is that this puppy is our uncontrollable emotional self. So whenever anybody is overreacting to anything on any spectrum of emotion, it is their puppy taking over. You're no longer a human in control of yourself. You're now acting like an untamed puppy, because you're allowing your feelings and your emotions to take over. Similar to what a young child does. What do toddlers do? Why is it the terrible twos? Because a terrible 2 child or terrible 3 child is all puppy. It's the same emotional, unhinged emotional reaction, right? They're still learning to control their emotions. They're still learning to think things through. So they're just act, fight, flight. That's what's coming through. So when you say control your inner puppy, it means control your inner child, control your inner self, control your emotions. That's basically what it means. Does that make sense? Questions?
All I know is that you guys always say, Danny's in tune with his inner puppy.
Yeah. Because you're a lot of fight or flight. You're very in tune with your inner puppy. Yes. Yes. Your inner puppy unleashes at moments. Yes.
I don't call that inner puppy.
What do you call it?
Old dog.
An old dog. Okay. Well, are old people not like toddlers?
No. Some of them.
Some of
They have like Alzheimer's or
Yes,
something like that.
exactly. But I mean, there's a lot of older people. Well, what do we say, right? That
What do I always say? You know, I was like,
you can't
I
teach
will
an
be
old
like
dog.
I will be like an old dog. You keep on kicking me and kicking me and kicking me, and I'm cool. All right, master. All right, cool. You know, I get it. You had a bad day. All right, I understand. Okay, yeah, you're going through some stuff, some emotional stuff or stressful stuff. Cool, but one of these days, I'm gonna bite the shit out of your leg because I've had enough of your kicks.
Yeah.
So, enough is enough. There is going to be a consequence for your action, and I'm going to show you it. That's not me being an inner puppy.
That's you
That's
being
me
an old dog. Well, but that's the difference. So, no, because there's been times in the many years we've been together where you've flown off, you've been flying off the handle, yelling or arguing a point where your blinders are on. Where like you.
Doesn't everybody do that?
We all do it, which is why everyone has this inner puppy that we forget to control, right? So we let the inner puppy loose. Some people have this inner puppy going on all day.
So, yeah, but two things about that with me, okay?
Okay.
One, I'll admit when I'm wrong.
Yes, I acknowledge
But
that.
if I'm having fun pissing you off, I'm going to enjoy it as long as I can. I realized I was wrong 5 minutes into this conversation, but I'm going to milk this for about 30 to 45 minutes just because I want to see you lose your mind.
And that's just because you're
entertainment.
sadistic. Yeah, but see, I don't agree with you on that because there's been times where you've started it as a joke or you've started like instigating, and in the end, you're ultimately mad.
Yes, because sometimes it's amazing. Like you said, people put on their blinders. So that's the other thing is like, there are times when you're being so close-minded. You're being so, and I don't mean you. I just mean people. By saying you, I mean just in general, right? You people that you're so set on your ways. You're so set on what you believe in that you should shut off. And you can't accept what's coming out from another point of view, from another angle. Instead of saying, okay, this is how I see it, but I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Okay, I heard your point of view. I agree to disagree. It is what it is. Cool. And that's it. Mm-hmm. But there are people, when they hear another point of view and it's not theirs, they get aggressive and they start arguing, they start shouting. And for me, that's when I'm like, hey, can you just be a grown up about it? Can you just listen to it?
Not always.
And then I'm like, now that pisses me off. And then I start arguing. I was like, well, you're still sitting in your way. I'm going to show you what you look like to me. So I'm going to start acting like you. And that's when it starts being, I have the blinders and we're going back and forth. Like you said, when I'm wrong, I'll admit it. And as I've gotten older, it's not no more of me enjoying pissing people off or listening anymore. It's some more of the, okay, cool. I was wrong. My bad. You know, oh, I see your point of view. All right, that's interesting.
Yeah, well, and that's definitely, and I can say I've noticed that as the years have passed, where when we were younger, it was, you would fly off the handle very quickly. Your fuse was like non-existent. You didn't have a fuse. You just blew up. And maybe that's part of your PTSD from your life in general.
I don't have PTSD. Take that back.
I am your wife, and well, whatever that uncontrollable rage you want to call that, okay, whatever that was, has, as the years have progressed, gotten more in control.
Well, that rage, I guess you can call it Hulk. That was Hulk, and Hulk, Hulk angry, Hulk smash.
A hunk is like, oh, hunk.
Well,
Hulk.
thank you, baby. I know. Thank you.
Hulk is like a crazy puppy who
Yeah.
just wants to
Hulk smash.
Hulk
But
smash.
I guess I'm at the point in my life where Hulk and Banner can live together.
There you go. But but the point being was that the puppy is, for some people, always there because
Right.
they never learn to merge the Hulk and Banner.
Okay.
Okay. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Did you guys get confused by our conversation? If you did, please chime in.
I think I'm more of a Wolverine, but okay, whatever.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. Okay, Wolverine, yet another wild animal who doesn't control their rage impulse.
Berserker.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's all a facade when he's being calm because his inner Wolverine is still raging. But anyways, that's what the puppy is. Basically, your inability to control your emotions, or as someone else might put it, impulse control. So because puppies also don't have, and toddlers, they don't have very good impulse control.
Right. So then people that have issues with authority, control your inner puppy. Give yourself a treat. Go for a walk.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent. Give yourself a treat and go for a walk. Control that inner puppy.
That's right.
I'm sure there's lots of husbands out there who wish their wives would control their inner puppy.
Oh, my goodness. I'm sure there are.
Or that their mother-in-laws would control their inner puppy.
But like you said, those are old puppies.
Those are just old
crazy
dogs.
puppies. Those are
Those
all
aren't
chihuahuas
even-
right there.
Those
Like
are all chihuahuas.
Yorkie Terriers, whatever you want to call them. It's just, they're mad.
Well, it's funny because you get mad. Not mad, but you always joke that I'm like a Vulcan because I'm so emotionless.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Even when we argue, I might reach a point of boiling.
Yeah, you're infuriating. You're infuriating because I am a very passionate person at times, and when
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my point across, or I'm trying to talk to you, and you're just like standing there, like looking into La La Land, like, don't ignore me, I'm talking to you, and you're like, you need to be more rational about this situation. And I'm like, don't you talk to me about rational.
Right there. See, me controlling my inner puppy, you not controlling your inner puppy
No.
because
I'm trying to have
you're
conversation with
demanding
it.
my attention. What do puppies do? Look at me, look at me, look at me.
We're gonna do
Look at
today's
me.
fight?
What are we gonna
Huh?
do? What are we gonna do? You throw the ball, right? So puppies demand attention.
Yeah, but see, when I do that, it's the same thing though. When I decide to just not let the puppy take over, and I'm like, all right, cool, whatever,
Okay,
F it, yeah.
but I think
And
that's
then you're
come
like,
with age.
and you're like, well, what? You don't care no more? I was like, no, it's just I don't. Yeah, you're right. I don't care. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, and maybe if I
Why are you doing that?
if I react that way, it's because it's not like you. But I understand that.
We all get tired eventually,
Yeah, you're right. We do all get tired eventually.
We just get tired.
Yeah.
It's like,
You're just tired that I'm going to make the decision
it's like,
anyways.
nah, it doesn't matter. Because we all know what my favorite saying is.
What is your favorite
I
thing?
told you so.
I told you so. That doesn't always happen. There's been plenty of I told you so's.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So is that authority between husband and wife?
Oh, yeah, there's always that.
That issue between
Who's going to be in charge? Who's going to try to control
charge?
everything?
Who's in charge, the
It's a
husband
form
or
of
the
authority,
wife?
right?
That reminds me of that post about the limon and the limas.
Don't. We're almost out of time. Don't go there.
Okay, people. Yes, we're going to go there. So there was this post that we saw on Instagram, and it was a wife, and she's from
Somewhere in Latin America.
some Latin country, and she calls the yellow lemon a limon. No, a lima.
Lima.
And she calls the green ones limon.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what
The right
Daniel
way.
says. He always tells me that the yellow ones are limas and the green ones are limones.
And therefore, Lima translated into English for me is a lime. And limon is a
a lemon. So, exactly. So, with that translation, a lemon in the U.S.
It's a green one.
is yellow.
No.
Yes.
I just said Lima
Yeah.
is a lime.
No, yeah, Lima is lime, and limes are green in the U.S.
Okay, so limes are green. See, that doesn't make sense because in Spanish, a lima is yellow.
No, but
And
not
limon
in the...
is
Okay,
green.
here we go. This is the argument, people. Okay, please chime in on this on Instagram or email us what your thoughts are on this or what if you agree. I
Okay.
say in the United States, in the United
Puppy
States,
down, puppy.
in the United States, a lemon or limon is yellow.
Okay.
And a lima or
Mexico,
lime
I know we're not in
is
Mexico.
green, but we're in the United States. What do you always tell me? We don't speak Spanish because we're in the U.S. Exactly, America.
These colors don't run, brother.
So then it's a lemon and a lime.
It doesn't matter what you say. Listen to me. Okay, listen. When you go and you ask, can I have a lemonade?
Uh-huh.
What was that lemonade made out of?
In the U.S., it's made out of yellow lemons.
Not always, because I've had it with the green ones.
Most places will give it to you from a yellow lemonade. Very few, unless it's a Latin or Mexican run
But
places will give it.
If you put a lemonade stand with your damn yellow lemons, I get lemons, and then you put across from it, then lemonade made out of the green ones, I'll bet you the green ones sell out first because that's what lemonades are supposed to taste like, and that's why they're better than the other ones.
Okay. We can continue to agree to disagree, but in the U.S., a lemon is a limon and a lime is a lima. In Mexico, it is the way you say it. But in South America, it's the way it is in the U.S. So it's only Mexico who's got it different.
Well, we all know white people do shit backwards.
It's only Mexico who has it different. Only Mexico has it different.
No.
Yes, because my mom is from South America and she calls
they don't even know
yellow one
they use more Spanglish in border towns than Mexico do.
And on the post for that lady, there were people from Paraguay, there were people from Chile, there were people from Argentina, and they all said the same thing. Limon is yellow, limas are green.
I don't believe that from our people from Argentina. I don't believe it. My Argentinian brothers and my Chilean brothers would not agree with you. I disagree.
On that post, it said so. If you're from Argentina or Chile or anywhere else in the world, lime or lemon, please let us know.
Well, if you say the opposite, you don't matter to me no more. And my Cuban people will come through. My Cuban ancestors will come through.
His puppy, unable to resolve facts.
It's not a fact. I haven't done my own research. You just blindsided me with it right now.
Blindsided you. This is a conversation. This is an argument we've had for years.
Okay, so for me, it's that way. So if I'm going to make ceviche and I tell you, hey, agarrame unos limones, what are you going to get me?
Well, I know ceviche is made with the green ones.
Oh, but I said limones.
Well, I know it's made with the green ones.
Oh, well apparently. But in America, do they do it with the yellow ones?
They don't make ceviche in the America.
Yeah, they do. Every time I go to the damn stores, maybe that's why it doesn't sell out. And they put it on clearance all the time, so they're doing it with the wrong ones.
Only Latin people make ceviche. Okay, not only, but in the restaurants that have ceviche, who's there? Who's running it? Latinos.
I don't know. I seen a video where I seen Japanese people running them.
Okay, but still, they have Latin
I didn't
workers.
even know Japanese did ceviche.
They have Latin workers, though.
Well, everybody has Latin workers. Even Italian food is made by Mexicans. Everything's made by Mexicans. All the Mexicans are in the kitchen.
That's true. I don't know. Is it still Mexicans these days, or is it like whoever crossed the border illegally?
Was it Guatemala?
Whoever crossed the border illegally most recently.
So yeah, that's that. So yeah, well, that's our one thing that we always kind of disagree on, which is kind of funny if you think.
It is the one thing. I think it's the one thing we always disagree on, and it's because not recently, but there's been a couple times he's told me to bring limones home from the store, and I brought lemons.
You know what is funny? Because even not a sponsor, but when we go to Skaters, it says Mexican
lime.
Right?
It
says Mexican lemons. It says
Mexican lemons.
Is that what it says? Mexican lemons on it. Or like if you want something else, I'll put key limes so that
key lime is the other one. Key lime or limes. Yeah, that's what it says.
So that's funny. Well, I mean, whatever.
Anyways.
I guess we need to get, I guess we need the Spanish to come back and conquer us and rename everything.
Again?
They're not going to do that.
Wait, wasn't there like that post or that, what did you send me about the real name of America and how America was named?
Oh, yeah, America.
Okay, so we learned on this.
Do you remember the whole thing? Because I don't.
I think I remember the gist of it. So basically, that America was not named after Amerigo Vespucci. That it was...
Amerigo Vespucci changed his name once he was in the Americas.
The term that the natives used to refer to the land, it was basically America, or a variation of America. And so there's like actual historical records of the natives calling the land this America name or America-like name, and that Amerigo Vespucci was a part of that group. So he saw and learned about all this, and then he decided to change his name to Amerigo or Amerigo to match the name. And so he got like some bishop on board with him. And so when they sailed back to Europe to announce the discovery of this land, he made it seem like it should be named after him. And he had this bishop and all his friends back him up, so that's why in the history books he's the one noted as the person who named the Americas, or who the Americas are named after, when in fact he named himself after what the natives already called this land. That's the gist of it.
Yeah, and it went down all the way down to like the South Americas. And the reason why I was getting all emotional about it was because they're talking about Tupac Amaru, and Amaru being, the last Incan, was it?
Emperor. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that part of Amaru is part of the America.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's Amaruca. It was Amaruca. It was called Amaruca. So the land was called Amaruca, which means land of the serpent.
Yes. Yeah,
it was like a
interesting
correlation to Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl, which is also the same thing as the feathered serpent.
He was the feathered serpent. So that was the correlation, is that all these indigenous tribes had a serpent god, and that serpent god ruled this whole land. So that's where it came from. So I don't know if we find it, we'll add it to the show notes, to the episode notes, so that you guys can follow that link and listen to it if you're interested.
Yeah, I wish I could remember who it was too.
I just thought it was... I love history. I love learning anything about history, especially if it corrects history, because we all know to the winner go the spoils and the story of the history. So,
yeah, they correct everything. They change everything too.
Well, it that's why I said the winner gets to tell the tale, right?
Yeah.
So they get their version is the one that gets published or recorded in history. So, and one could say, well, then how do you know the other one is true? Because there's records even before that one that tell you. So you go back far enough, you'll find the records.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time to find them.
Yeah, and then nowadays with all this technology we have, and so many people scanning ancient texts into the system, it's a lot easier to find the correct information.
I can't find it.
That's fine.
I can't find it. It's gonna drive me crazy. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I know I sent it to you. I sent it to our eldest, but I'm just...
That's fine. We'll find it later and we'll post it on the notes.
I think I even sent it to our son, actually, now that I think about it, because the name thing on one of those things.
I think it was on Snapchat.
I sent it to him to you guys on Snapchat, but I had originally found it on the TikTok, the thing I never do, and it was like one of the few times I actually got on, and then I was like, oh, interesting. But yep. So
okay, so that was that. So, all right, what else? I guess that the whole point originally was like, authority, and again, I just kind of wanted to... It reminded me of the girls, and I just wondered why it is. And I get kids question authority.
See, that's the thing. Maybe everybody has a problem with authority if you really think about it. I mean, it may work, like we said, it could be political, government, parents, supervisors, wives, husbands, whatever.
And it's just because we don't like to be told what to do.
Yeah, and so that part of our bestiality of our mind that just wants to roam free and do whatever we want, I guess, in a way, kind of wants to get in our primitive mind, I guess, and it has that problem with authority. But I mean, society has shown us, and history has shown us that over and over again, if we don't have any type of authority,
we self-implode.
Yeah, we're doomed. Then that's murder and everything is a common, normal thing, right?
And if you think about it, even within animal groups, right? Within a pack of animals or a herd of animals, there's a structure, right, of authority, right? There's the pecking order. So you've got your alpha males or females, and they're the ones who basically make the decisions for the tribe, right, for their packs. So that would be similar to authority that we have within our households, right? The parents are the alphas, and the children are to follow the direction and authority of their parents. And then we've elected officials, into government offices to lead us and protect us the same way alpha pack leader would protect and lead their pack, right?
Right.
And also, right, there's also in the wild, the pack will.
I found it, and it's been taken down.
It was taken down.
Yeah. I thought when I sent it to you, I thought it was that one, and I went to look for it, the link, and I just
of course it was taken
because of
down.
my son's because I was sending it to our oldest boy. Yeah, it's no longer there, and it's funny because I'm verifying it now because I found the one for our oldest daughter. I sent it to her too, and it's also like telling me this video is no longer available. Even the profile has been deleted. So
interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're changing the information.
Yeah. Well, you're giving some info to
that
people
nobody else wants you to know.
Probably doesn't know, and you're kind of opening an eye or making people research it, and censorship.
Yep.
Authority figures taking that away from you.
Yeah. Right. Dang it, is that really an authority figure?
Well, yeah, because if it's a social media platform and you're posting stuff on there, and they have rules and regulations.
That's true.
And you're creating something that's...
But what's the rule and regulation?
Authority.
The whole point of these things is that you're supposed to be able to have free speech, right? But now the authority says you can't have free speech. It really is a super complex subject because, we're all about authority as parents and authority, respecting certain types of authority. But government authority, when it oversteps and overreaches, and it is no longer protecting and leading its pack.
So, I'll tell you a funny story. So at work, one of my superiors made a joke about, by definition, and then he went on a spill because something was lost. So he was giving us the definition of lost. Every time we can't find something, that's his go-to line. And it's getting to a point where freaking annoying at times, right? Especially if you're having a stressful day. So ever since then, I've gone into this whole thing of definition of words, right? So right now we were saying that, it made me think about the actual definition of authority. And this is what I came across, all right? I just did a Google search. It's according to the Oxford languages. It's a noun, right? The number one example or definition will be the power or right to give orders and make decisions and enforce obedience. Therefore, that answers everything, and that's why it happens. This is why people hate authority, because they're enforcers. They're enforcing obedience, and a part of us feels like something's being taken away from us. A decision has been taken away from us, and so automatically we want to rebel against it.
Okay.
So then there it is. By definition, it automatically, similar to the word authority, will be power, jurisdiction, and command.
Okay. And you and I understand this because, we were told we had to do something and we chose not to do it and trusted that it was wrong.
Shocker.
if you know us, what a surprise, right? We
We didn't get the and we got so sick and we died. Oh wait, no, that didn't happen.
No, we did get sick, but we didn't die. I think we were sick for 3 days.
Oh yeah, like 2 years later.
Yeah, 2 years after the fact, we got sick.
That everybody was getting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got
sorry.
sick for 3 days with a weird fever, and then it was over and it was done. And even though we never got the, our medical record shows that we did. So I thought that was interesting. But anyways, again, authority told everybody that they should do this. We chose not to, and now that same authority is saying it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because who knew, right?
Who knew?
I got the hammer, and I'm going to put it down.
So, anyways, authority, and
now I want to go watch that South Park episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
Did
you ever watch that?
Yeah, I think so.
When Carmen is a cop and he's always going around.
Oh yes,
saying, respect my authority.
Yes. But I mean, authority is necessary when it's helping the community, right? When it's for the better of all.
I think the only time authority comes good is when you're raising your children and if you're trying to raise them the right way, and you have to put down your authority.
But I think authority, there is a level of authority in government that is needed, right? To keep order, right? Isn't that the idea behind the commandments, right? Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal.
I don't know.
I don't have to be religious to know this. I'm just saying there's rules that
I know
have
the
been laid
DMX
out.
ones. I know the only reason I know him is the DMX ones because when he does it on that one song,
Okay.
he goes over the.
Well, you know them. You know what I'm talking about. There's rules to living that you don't hurt anybody without, unless you want to get hurt back, basically. There's rules.
But we don't live like that, do we?
We don't. Like, people don't live like that.
No.
People are happy to step on others.
Cancel culture.
Every chance they get.
Cancel culture.
Do you even know? Okay, so he started watching this program. What's it called? Primo. Started watching
Freebie.
And one of the characters keeps saying cancer culture, and then the family's always mad at him because do you even know what that means?
Yeah.
It's like you use it for everything, and it turns out he doesn't even know what it means.
Yeah, he's using it wrong. You know?
He's using it wrong all the time. But it's funny because
like he drinks a soda pop and it was like not enough bubbles.
Doesn't have enough bubbles.
Cancel culture.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, I mean, my whole point with the authority was that it reminded me of our eldest girls. And again, it was maybe in a little scary place because, of course, I was listening to a murder mystery and, the girl was never found. So.
Well, on that note, one of them said that they're coming over. So we'll see how
long she's okay with our authority.
Authority in effect. We got a pool going on. One of our kids said that she'll be gone by his birthday. The other one says about somebody says 2 weeks. Somebody says after my birthday. So that's about 2 weeks also. So yeah, we'll see.
Didn't one of them kids say 1 week?
Yeah.
I think one of the kids.
Our eldest
said she'll only make it a week.
Our eldest, her sister.
Oh, the eldest.
Yeah, the eldest. She was like, she'll last a week.
So
I was like, damn, you were more brutal. We were all giving her more time.
It's just, but she's a young adult. Like literally our rule with her is, because she's never here, we just treat her as a guest, right? She's not.
Should parents ever always treat their kids like guests?
I treat them like guests.
Parents are always parents. It doesn't matter how old you get or anything.
I don't know. It's just because she never comes over.
No.
As far as I'm concerned, she's a guest because of our authority.
Authority.
Yeah. Well,
I feel like doing the Pee-wee thing. Every time you say authority, you're like, the word of the day.
Word of the day. Word of the day. Even though we're almost done with this, right? But
authority.
It's just.
I'm being a goofball.
It's okay. I mean, it's just, we'll see. I hope she lasts longer, even though I still don't know where she's going to sleep. But, I mean, it's just, I've lived with this my whole life. Like, I've been her stepmom for 16 years, right? Less than, I think, is that right? I don't know my numbers. Between 16 and 20 years, I've been her stepmom. And I'm used to them going away when they're not comfortable, or going away when we've got, when we've told them to eat a salad, or, or don't keep eating all day long. Like there's so many things that have happened that I've gotten numb to it. Are you counting? He's counting. He's trying to figure it out how many years. She was 3. So it's
21 years?
No,
it's 16
I'm talking
years.
about the 21-year-old.
Yeah, 16 years.
So yeah, she was 3. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the end of 2005 when we started dating. It was December 2005 when we started dating.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've been part of their lives since December 2005.
Yeah.
Actually, a little bit before that because.
Well, yeah, because I was helping you with them when you guys were separating. Yeah. Yeah, he would bring them over because he didn't know what to do. He's like, can you braid hairs
and showers?
And showers. And
because I was afraid of, what if they try to do something against me? So I needed witnesses.
Yeah. And then you needed
a female point of view. Yeah.
And a babysitter sometimes too, just when you needed to go to work or whatever.
Yeah.
You couldn't watch him.
Yeah, for a couple hours. Yeah.
But anyway, so I think I got used to the fact that they weren't going to listen to my authority. Like I had no authority over them.
I remember you would cry. I remember you would be so frustrated.
I would be very frustrated because there was nothing I could say or do to make it better.
Yeah, but I did something and that changed it.
Yeah, well, did it really though?
Yeah, it did
because they stopped coming over. Though.
No, they didn't start coming over. They still listen. They were still coming over. They were listening more, but they were more upset about it, because they were like, well, if we mess with it, that's gonna punish us.
Yeah, but the point was that at some point I think I stopped caring. I would see them as guests.
Yeah, well, you have to,
because if I saw them as a mother, like through a mother's eyes, where I was trying to be loving and affectionate and caring about their problems, it would just...
Yeah, but you failed miserably then because you were always loving, caring, and affectionate.
Yeah, but I really tried
to them, and
when they were
to
gone.
The point, and it was like also to a point where I would get jealous because I remember with the oldest. No, there was one time when you guys locked yourself in the room and you're all talking and talking and talking. I was like, what the hell's going on here? I was like, oh, nothing.
It's girl talk.
Yeah, and then later on you're like, oh, she's talking about she has some things about some boy at school and some friends that are picking on her or what. It's like, oh, she doesn't talk to me. It's like, oh, it's a girl talk thing. I was like, oh, I'm a dad. I can listen. I know girls. I was like,
it's not the same.
Yeah. So, but you guys had that and I thought that was nice. That was cool.
Yeah. But
so
sometimes
that's what I'm saying. Then you felt miserable.
Well,
because
but
you still loved them. You still care for them. You still did stuff for them.
I was always mad when they were gone though, right? Because
you would get jealous.
It's not jealous. It wasn't jealous. It was the fact that here we were offering them a certain type of life, and because they didn't like our rules and they wanted that freedom, even though they weren't maybe getting the love that they also wanted, they would rather take that.
Yeah, but see,
that to me was frustrating, so I had to shut down.
So yeah, and that aspect too, like you're saying about me, I remember. So my mom passed away. I went to live with my dad, and like you said, I was very free and did a lot of things, right? And then I ran away, and I ended up later on going to live with my dad's girlfriend. And like you said, there was a lot of discipline, a lot of structure there, a lot of rules. And I remember when I left there, I was 14, and a lot of people were like, "You're just leaving because the authority, right? You don't want to follow the rules or everything. And you want to go over there where nobody cares and you can do whatever you want, and you want that freedom." Right? Mm-hmm. But it wasn't that. It's just life.
Yeah.
But in this case, yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah, here it was different because, again, and maybe the 23-year-old has, I think she's chimed in on this before, where she's like, yeah, well, I was a dumb kid, and I think you've said that. Sorry if you didn't say it. Maybe in my head I heard it. But it's kind of like they didn't know any better.
I'm pretty sure she did because I remember hearing that too.
Yeah, more like
I was young.
Yeah, I didn't know any better. I had other influences in my head.
But the thing that I love about that, not to defend it, right? But now that I love about it is that I'm grateful that she realizes that now and she's done what she's done with it. Like she appreciated it and she sees it still at a young age. And now she's not seeing it when I'm gone or when you're gone, once we're dead. Because a lot of times we don't realize that stuff until those people are out of our lives.
And I'm grateful that she realizes it. I'm grateful you realize it because I know you're listening. But the 21-year-old, I don't know that she'll ever.
No,
because I know her brain is different. I know
Yeah.
she herself is different. I don't know that she'll ever. And I get that and I accept that. But again, that's why I treat her as a guest when she's
it's
here.
hard. It's hard. Yeah.
Because I'm not.
It's a broken record. It's like every time of the year she comes over, and then we can predict exactly what's going to happen, what is going to be said, which is kind of like the sad thing. And I'm pretty sure some people were like, "Oh man, that's pretty sad." You guys are betting on how long she's going to last. She's been doing this for the last 7-8 years. You know, it's like she comes over and it's the same subject for the first 2-3 days.
Yeah, she just complains the whole time she's here about her life at home.
And at the same time, she's saying about what she wants to change and what she wants to do. And then by the end of, let's say, I don't know, between day 5 and 7, it's more of how much longer am I going to be here? How long do you want me here?
And she's always asking, like every day she asks, so till when do you guys want me here? When should I leave? And then we're always telling her the same thing, whenever you want.
And then she gets mad because, in the first couple of days, everybody kind of like doesn't know how to act around her or be around her because she's a stranger to them. They haven't seen her like in a year. So they're like, how do they do? Especially the youngest ones, like.
Or they're overkill.
No, I don't think the girls have ever been like that with her.
No?
They're more like, now the eldest, they're overkill. Definitely. They're like, oh, I love you.
And they see her way more.
Yeah.
So
then to them, they're like, I was like, oh yeah, this is my sister, big time. But with the other one, it's like, well, she's supposed to be our sister, but is she? Because we never see her.
Yeah.
She's a stranger, especially for the baby.
And then her personality is different too. And we've touched on this before, where she's more serious and she's not as fun.
Yeah, she's always screaming. She's always
yelling at them
to do things, and they're like, oh man, we don't need you to do that here.
Another authority figure.
Yeah.
I don't need another mom. I already got my.
I think it's the way that our kids are is more like, yo, this is our house. You're a guest. You don't talk to me like that.
And again, back to the whole like she gets treated as a guest. I don't expect anything from her when she's here. That's what I mean. It's like I'm not going to give her chores, right? As if she was one of the kids. I don't give her. Whenever she comes over, I try to do this with the eldest also with the 23-year-old. It's when they're here, I try not to request things of them.
Yeah, but when you're a guest, you offer to do things.
Some guests do, but not all guests
should do that, because if they're not, then they better get going soon.
Well, not all guests are like that. So I don't require anything of them other than clean your space and fold your blankets when you leave. Anyways, that's what's going on, and that's the whole authority conversation.
Authority.
Again, it's a complex conversation.
Authority.
It covers
tell us what you think about authority. Let us know what your problem with authority is, and let us know what's going on if you stuck by this long.
Yeah, that's so funny. Well, who knows? Maybe it doesn't matter, right? I guess it is what it is. We'll listen to ourselves, and one day our kids will listen to us, and it's like, oh, that's what mom and dad sounded like.
Yeah.
Right. That's what they were talking about this whole time.
Talking crap about me.
Yeah.
I'm not changing your diaper today, old man. I heard episode 5.
Well, thank you again for your time, and we hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, don't forget that we'll be posting
the bonus
episode. Yes, from our vault, who my husband is saying was episode 24, but it's really 25.
I don't know what episode it is.
Yeah, it'll be episode.
It's dated, people, so that's why it's from the vault. But yeah, hope you enjoy.
It's just 3 dads hanging out.
Yeah, hanging out.
So you'll hear that coming up after this.
All right.
Take care.
Take.
Good night.
Peace.